Princess Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her nerds and prey. Along came a spider who sat down beside her, and then they began to play. That's right, everyone! We are returning to the underground, but this time to see the potential of the 8-limbed charity worker, Muffet. The biggest fear for both arachnophobes and rich people alike. She's a spider monster who has one goal in mind: to earn enough donations so that she may save the spiders trapped in the ruins, who aren't able to make it past the cold that lies await for them outside. And to earn the funds to do so, she opened her own bake sale, selling spider pastries to anyone that passes by. She's good at it, but not for the reasons you'd hope for. She may love all spiders, but she's pretty cruel to just about everybody else. Except those who also like spiders. She's cool with them. But I'm not totally sure if there's anyone currently participating in Super Smash Bros. Who's shown a liking for spiders, so they better watch their backs, cause today, Muffet will show them no mercy. Except for Diddy Kong. She'd be cool with him. So, getting right into things, Muffet would be a rather petite character with a ton of quick and sporadic movements. She'd have 2 jumps, and thanks to her being a spider monster, she would be able to both wall jump and wall cling. Muffet is a very intriguing character, the first one in fact who has so many limbs to work with when compiling attacks, and not just for my What If series, but for Smash in general. But that aside, Muffet's overall theming is going to be very unsettling to say the least. She's very weird, having attacks with a certain amount of charm, but the undertones are very creepy and oppressive, much like Muffet herself. And as you'd expect, being a spider will also have heavy influences on her themes, having a ton of attacks that are great for trapping foes in a web of combos to wear them down, then deal that finishing blow. Fighting Muffet is very much like being at a tea party that you'll never be able to get up from. Speaking of tea party, Muffet will always be carrying around her favorite tea set, utilizing them for both attacks and as a host. So, starting with her jabs, she can have a 3-hit jab that can lead into a rapid jab. She starts by swinging one of her teacups horizontally forwards, then swings one of her teapots horizontally forwards into the other direction for the second jab, then ends the combo by doing a turn to stab one of her legs straight forwards. And if you choose to initiate the rapid jab instead, she'll start stabbing her 6 arms forwards wildly while simultaneously juggling her tea set, flexing her skills while also prepping her prey to be made into a Swiss cheese puff pastry. For her dash attack, she'll do a ballerina twirl while she holds her 6 arms outwards. This is a move that deals multi-hitting damage, trapping foes caught in its wide range that are launched away at the end of the move. It doesn't launch foes very far, but it's great for racking up damage and potentially as a combo starter. Muffet's side tilt can have her flip one of her teapots forwards, causing it to twirl in the air with webbing, after which she pulls it back to her hand. This is another move that deals multi-hitting damage, but has weak launch potential. Her up tilt can have Muffet take both of her teacups and smash them over her head, causing glass to fly upwards all over the place, after which she pulls out 2 new cups. That's, I think you got problems, lady. Definitely a strange move, but it's also very deceptive, dealing a ton of damage to foes as they're launched upwards. Its range is kind of lacking, but thanks to how Muffet swings her arms, it can scoop up foes right beside her to launch them once she smashes the cups on her head. For the down tilt, she can pull out a tea saucer with one of her free arms and swing it horizontally low to the ground. A very weak move that's great for popping foes into the air. And for Muffet's side smash, it'll be feeding time. So she'll take a step back and summon her pet. A muffin-shaped monster with a big mouth and an even bigger appetite. Her pet will appear and do a large lunging chomp attack forwards. It's a very slow and telegraphed disjointed move, but it's also Muffet's deadliest attack, dealing a ton of damage and can quite possibly get some early KOs if her prey isn't careful. And as you'd expect, this attack does have quite a bit of end lag, mainly because Muffet wants to pet the monster before it vanishes. What is it with these homicidal mother figures as of late? Well, Now things will be the same for her up smash, having her pet appear and jump upwards with another large bite, working closer to what we see it do in Undertale when she does call in her pet. The same rules apply here as it did for her side smash, just now it's biting up instead of forward. And for Muffet's down smash, she'll get low to the ground and start spinning while holding her teapots outwards, and while she does so, a ton of spiders start flying out of the pots. This move deals multi-hitting damage to foes who are hit directly by the teapots, but foes just out of range could still be hit by the flying spiders, which only deal small flinching damage. For her neutral aerial, this could have Muffet shoot a fully made spider web from behind herself that hits all around. This is a very quick attack that puts foes into quite a bit of hit stun, making it great as a combo starter to trap foes in those aforementioned web of combos. For her forward air, this could have Muffet pull out a tea stirring spoon covered in spiders holding sugar cubes. She then starts twirling it forwards as if she's trying to stir her prey up in front of her. This is yet another multi-hitting move as she stirs, only launching them with the last hit. For the back air, I call this attack the Flying Saucer, having Muffet pull out a tea saucer with one of her free arms just like she did with her down tilt, only this time she swings it diagonally backwards from low to high. The up air can have a bunch of spiders start to leap out of her backward facing teacup and all fly over Muffet's head into the frontward facing cup. Foes hit by the spiders get caught as their damage racks up, then are launched up afterwards. And her down air can have Muffet start stabbing her legs downwards one at a time many times. Another great move to catch foes and rack up their damage until they're launched away. To grab opponents, Muffet will shoot forwards a net of webs, and if she hits an unlucky opponent with it, they become completely wrapped up in her webs. She'll pummel by bopping her prey on the head with a teacup. Her forward throw can have her pull a thread from the web cluster so fast that the foe is spun out of the webs and launched forwards into the air. The back throw can have Muffet spin with the caught foe attached to a thread, then tosses them backwards. The up throw can suddenly have the webbing explode with Muffet's pet flying out with a huge rising tackle, launching the foe into the air. And the down throw can have Muffet pour spiders on the foe from her teapot that rack up damage, then she kicks them away. For Muffet's neutral special, she summons a single large spider from her teapot. This spider behaves like a projectile that keeps going in one direction as it crawls on the ground, but it's also able to crawl on walls and ceilings as well. Meaning once it reaches a ledge, it'll actually keep going as it crawls past the ledge onto the wall of the stage, potentially crawling under the stage to the other side, going in constant circles on the stage or platform that it's on until it either hits a foe, which deals small flinching damage, or vanishes on its own, which takes about 15 seconds. The one exception is if part of the stage it's on leads straight into the blast zone, like for walk-off stages or stages coming out of the blast zone. For Muffet's side special, I hope you're hungry, because she throws pastries at you. Off topic, but has anyone ever been to a restaurant called the Potato Patch? It's a place I used to go to where the waiters walk around with baskets of rolls, and if you wanted a roll, you'd call out for one, and they'd actually throw the roll at you to catch. In hindsight, I can imagine how wasteful that probably was, considering how many people couldn't catch the rolls, myself included, but it was still fun for me when I was a kid. Anyway, getting back on track, this has Muffet throw pastry projectiles at you, just like she does during her boss fight. If you simply tap the command, she throws a donut. It's gravity affected, bounces against the stage, disappears once it hits a foe, and it deals small flinching damage. If you hold the command down instead though, she'll throw a croissant. This acts like a boomerang, flying straight, then after reaching its peak distance, turns around and flies into the opposite direction. Croissants deal the same amount of damage as donuts. After all, I'm sure that their calorie counts are pretty similar. Regardless of which pastry you toss, you can slightly angle the direction you toss them by tilting up or down on the control stick. For Muffet's up special, this can have her create a web spring, conjuring a web under her feet that immediately springs her high into the air, after which she goes into freefall. This move has no offensive means, but the web spring does linger for a short bit for Muffet to be able to jump on to spring into the air again if she so wishes. However, only the Muffet player who made the web can do this. If any other player tries to jump on the web, such is the nature of spider webs, it'll actually trap them, leaving them vulnerable until they can escape, which they can do by mashing the control stick or until the web disappears, whichever happens first. The web disappears automatically after 10 seconds, but it will go away sooner if Muffet uses her up special again. And finally, for Muffet's down special, in reference to what she does to Frisk's soul, I called this attack Purple Webs. She pours purple web fluids on the ground in front of herself, leaving a purple puddle of webbing. Any foe who touches this puddle will become sluggish for a bit, having reduced run and jump speed, becoming much more limited in their movements just like Frisk does when their soul is turned purple. You are also able to apply these effects to foes manually by pouring the purple fluids directly onto them, which you can do if they're right in front of you or below you, since when you pour the liquid, it falls straight down. Though its fall range isn't that far, going down about one Muffet size of the distance past her feet, after which it evaporates. You'll be able to leave 2 purple puddles on the ground at a time, and they each last for 10 seconds, but they will disappear sooner if you try making new ones before the old ones vanish. Overall, when playing as Muffet, you need to think like a true spider. Lay your traps, limit their movement, then suck them dry of all their worth, both from their veins and their wallets. For Muffet's final smash, I'm calling this move, "You're just the ingredient I've been looking for." It's a cinematic final smash that starts with Muffet releasing a huge web with a large circumference all around herself, and all foes who get caught in the web will be pulled in. The cinematic then plays out with a scene straight out of a horror movie. Thousands of spiders appear and cover the foes with webs. We then see Muffet slowly walking up as the screen fades to black. Then suddenly, the foes all take massive damage. Muffet then appears from the darkness with a tray of freshly made pastries, and sticking out of them, signs that list them as the flavors of the fighters that she just caught, ending the cinematic. This final smash doesn't launch foes anywhere, instead it just forces the foes to lie on the ground. However, if their damage goes over 150%, that's an automatic KO. I don't feel too keen on trying any of those pastries, but hey, Snake will finally have his chance to see what Yoshi's taste like. For Muffet's colors, her default has her in her pale periwinkle skin tone, red outfit, and dark maroon hair. And for her alternate colors, they can all reference the colors of real-life spiders. And just a heads up, if you don't like looking at close-ups of spiders, then you can just skip to this time right here. The starting alt can show Muffet with the colors of the Black Widow. Here's a color scheme referencing the brown recluse spider. Here's the villager's worst nightmare, the mighty tarantula. Next is a camel spider. Then a mouse spider. Then a lichen huntsman spider. And for the final alt, it can reference the flower crab spider. However, this could also be the alt that references the Undertale battle colors. And here's all of the colors for those who skipped to this time because they didn't want to look at the spiders. For Muffet's stage intro, she'd gently come down like how a spider descends with their webs, except Muffet would be sitting on webbing in the form of a swing. For the taunts, her first would show Muffet do a little dance, with a spider appearing next to her holding a sign with a random sprite on it, just like we see during her fight. Her second can have her hold her hand to her mouth to do a small yet creepy little giggle. And her final can just show her pour spiders from one of her teapots into one of her teacups. And finally, for Muffet's victory animations, her first can show her take a seat on the head of her pet, then take a small sip from her teacup, referencing the illustration on her official tarot card. Her second can show her holding a large bag of gold, and she says, "Thank you for your patronage," referencing how by the end of most of her business exchanges, she ends up selling you one of her pastries that cost 9,999 gold, whether you wanted one or not. And her final can show a large limo roll up, then park. You then see the window roll down with spiders crawling out of it as it does so, and Muffet is seen sitting inside the heated ride just winking at the camera. And that does it for What If Muffet was in Smash! So, if you enjoyed what you saw and would like to see even more characters be given possible Smash movesets, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to support the show and help me be able to make more content for you guys, you can click the join button either below the video or on my main page to become a sponsor for my channel. Doing so will get you access to my private Discord as well as channel emotes. You can guarantee that your name appears in my videos, or even get the option of knowing what if character is coming up next a week in advance. I really appreciate anything that can be contributed. And of course, if you have a character that you want to see be given a possible Smash moveset, leave a comment down below or contact me on Twitter at BrawlFan1 on Twit. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching!